Something absolutely unbelievable is happening right now, and it could change women's basketball forever. Reports are flying in that a Chinese basketball organization has offered Caitlin Clark and several top American stars a mind-blowing $20 million contract to leave the WNBA and play overseas. That's right, $20 million, not for a lifetime deal, not for 5 years, but for just one single season. If this deal goes through, it could completely destroy the WNBA's future. Let's break down the shocking details. For years, WNBA players have complained about low salaries, unfair treatment, and lack of exposure. The league's top stars make barely over $200,000 a year. That's less than many NBA bench players make in a week. Meanwhile, players in Europe and Asia are being offered millions to play overseas, where women's basketball actually draws huge crowds and sponsors. But this new offer from China, it's on a different level. Sources say the Chinese Women's Super League, CWSL, backed by powerful investors and state media networks, is planning to launch a global expansion project next year. And at the center of that plan is one name, Caitlin Clark. Officials reportedly approached Caitlin's management with a $20 million offer, including luxury housing, private travel, and a share of streaming profits from every televised game. The proposal describes Caitlin as the face of a global basketball revolution. If she accepts, it would instantly make her the highest-paid female basketball player in history by a mile. But the shocking part? China's not stopping at Caitlin Clark. They're also targeting Angel Reese, Aja Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and even international stars to join what's being called the Global Women's Basketball League. In other words, this isn't just a contract, it's a takeover. Now let's put this in perspective. While WNBA players are fighting for better pay and fair treatment, this new league is offering private jets, endorsement deals, and salaries starting at $1 million. One insider said, China is doing for women's basketball what Saudi Arabia did for golf. If that's true, we might be witnessing the start of a basketball version of LIV Golf, where massive foreign investment could rip apart American leagues overnight. And if the WNBA loses even 2 or 3 of its biggest stars to China, the league's credibility and ratings could collapse instantly. Remember, this isn't the first time American players have gone overseas for money. Even legends like Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, and Breanna Stewart once played in Russia and Turkey because the pay was better. But back then, the WNBA was still seen as the main stage. Now that may no longer be the case. The Chinese offer is so massive, so historic, that it's forcing players to reconsider everything: loyalty, career goals, and their long-term financial security. And here's where it gets even crazier. Sources say the Chinese league plans to broadcast every game worldwide, with English commentary, highlight reels, and massive sponsorship deals with global brands like Nike, Tencent, and Alibaba. Their goal? To make women's basketball a truly international spectacle, without needing the WNBA's permission or structure. In short, China wants to build the new home of women's basketball. Now you might be asking, why Caitlin Clark? Simple. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. She broke every record at Iowa. She pulled in millions of new fans to the WNBA, and she's become the most marketable name in the sport. The type of superstar that can make or break an entire league. The Chinese investors know that if they get Caitlin Clark, everyone else follows. And that's exactly why this deal is so dangerous for the WNBA. Reports also suggest that Caitlin hasn't officially responded yet, but her team is seriously considering the offer. Because let's be real, who wouldn't think about it? The WNBA gives her attention, sure, but it's also given her constant criticism, rough fouls, and zero support from the league office. Meanwhile, $20 million overseas means she could set her family up for life, while still growing her global brand. And fans online seem to agree. On social media, one fan wrote, "The WNBA didn't protect her, didn't pay her, didn't respect her. If China wants to give her $20 million, take it." Another said, "They treated Caitlin like she wasn't the reason for their ratings. Let her go get her bag overseas." But the WNBA's leadership isn't staying quiet. Sources say Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and the league's executives are terrified. They've reportedly called an emergency meeting with team owners to discuss how to counter these international offers. The WNBA simply cannot compete with this kind of money. Even if they doubled salaries, they'd still be light years behind what China is offering,